Alright, so the last few days everyone's been talking about a Reddit post listing 44 terrible D&D rules that his Dungeon Master issued to his players. The post said that his Dungeon Master had gone on hiatus and these were his demands in order to come back and continue to DM their game. Since then, the post has been taken down, I guess because the DM got a lot of hate online for it, so it's really hard to find the list anywhere. So I'm just going to run through the list real quick. I'll put a link to a video I made explaining my opinions on some of these rules, but put in the comments whether you think these rules are crazy, unreasonable, reasonable. Let me know. I'm going to paraphrase because some of them are really wordy and he uses profanity a lot. Rule number 1, he says he will time your turns. You have to do everything you want to do on your turn in 1 minute, and if you don't finish, then you spend your turn wasted. Rule number 2, if you want harder fights, bring an extra character sheet or expect to spend your time twiddling your thumbs because you're gonna die. Rule number 3, if you call me or any of my roles unfair, then I'll just leave. And if you rode with me, you can find your own way back. Rule number 4, I'm going to take your character's loot as often as you expect to get it. Rule number 5, you are required to role play all of your persuasion and intimidation checks. Otherwise, you auto-fail, because by not role-playing, you're making the game lame for everyone else. Rule number 6, if you miss clues for side quests, tough poop. Rule number 7, if you move your character in combat to a new square, you can't take it back. Rule 8, say what you're doing out loud for everyone to hear before you roll dice. You can't just roll and then when you roll good, say you're casting a fireball. Rule 9, I will be handing out exhaustion more often, and if you don't like it, fight me. Rule 10, every snide comment you make to an NPC will be remembered and repaid threefold. Rule 11, you will not be given a mega dungeon every session. Rule 12, the travel portion is done. If you want to go wherever you want and do whatever you want, go play World of Warcraft. Rule 13, if you're late to the session for no good reason, then you have half HP that session. Rule number 14, if you miss a session for no good reason, and I'll be the only one who gets to decide if it's no good reason, then you will either lose 3 major items or you'll be docked a level. If you miss a second time, you're out of the group chat, you're out of the party. Rule number 15, if you're too stoned or drunk to play, I'm leaving. Rule number 16, if you get up to hit your bong every 10 minutes, I'm leaving. I'm sick of waiting for people to come back to the table. Rule number 17, guidance and divination spells are banned. No more effing guidance. Rule number 18, you get 1 chance at a skill check. Everyone in the party doesn't get a chance to try. Rule number 19, metagaming will result in instant damage to your character. Rule number 20, rules lawyering other players is encouraged. But if you actually me, then I'm going to tell you to F off. Rule number 21, you roll in front of 2 other players. You roll neatly and you roll on the table. If not, you auto fail. And if you argue, you auto crit fail. Rule number 22, instant death traps are coming into play. And if you argue, I'll tell you to F off. Rule number 23, I will not give you random magical items. Vendors will not stock them. They are rare and hard to find. Rule number 24, random encounters in the form of dragons, mysterious road traders, and goblin prostitutes just aren't going to happen. Go play Baldur's Gate 3. Rule number 25, I don't give 2 craps what Reddit says. Rule number 26, I give less of a crap about your friend's D&D group. Rule number 27, saying that someone else didn't like something I did will get you kicked out. Don't hide your agendas behind other people. Rule number 28, don't bullcrap about other stuff for the first 2 hours that we're supposed to be playing. Rule number 29, saying we're not here to have fun, this is serious, is rude and dismissive. I'll go home. Rule number 30, don't order food randomly. We either eat together or we don't eat at all. I don't want a bunch of food around my things. Rule number 31, no food or drink around any of my D&D gear. If you ruin it, you will replace it. Rule number 32, arguments between players outside of roleplay will be resolved by me. If you don't like it, you can F off. Rule number 33, I don't care what Critical Role or Reddit says, this is how it works in my world. Rule number 34, every person in the party will have debuffs applied to their characters, and this should have happened a long time ago. Rule number 35, if you don't bring your sheet, you don't play. Rule number 36, if you don't bring dice, borrow some. Rule number 37, when we're playing, I'm no longer your friend. That doesn't mean treat me like an enemy during the game. I'm just no longer being nice. Rule number 38, if you treat me like crap over something that happened in the game, F off. Rule number 39, you must submit your daily spell list. I don't trust you not to cheat. Rule number 40, if you don't track your spell slots on paper, your spell does half damage to you and you now have no spell slots. Rule number 41, if you break anything, you can't play until you replace it. Rule number 42, if you complain about the music, you bring the entire playlist next session or shut the F up. Rule number 43, I don't care about your opinion of my ruling. Rule number 44, I'm not threatening you, I'm promising you. So, let me know what you guys think about that. Comment your opinions. Tell me if you think some of these rules are reasonable, if you think they're unreasonable, if you think they're ridiculous. Here is my video, maybe over there, where I tell you my opinion of some of the rules, which ones I think are fair, not fair, and which ones I think are ridiculous. Thanks for watching. See you guys next time.